Hello, I am back at home. Last week I made my personal video in my office, but I'm at home this morning, and so I decided to make it from my house. Let's look at the past. I want to talk about the flip grid. I had some problems myself. I posted a video response to every single person, and I tried 4 times, and it would not post. And I talked to somebody else, and the problem there is you have to keep the Flipgrid app. If you're on your phone, which I was, you have to keep the Flipgrid app active until it completely loads. So you have to use your finger and make sure that that phone stays active. If it goes to sleep, that's not the right word, but anyway, that video will not load. And that happened to me a lot, and I did not know that. So heads up to you. And also, I'll be honest, I posted a response to every single person, and there were a lot of you didn't even view it. You didn't ever go back and look at the responses that people made to you. I can see that because I can tell, I can look at the data and see if you opened my response. I can see how many times you commented. I can see who you responded to. I can see how many likes your video got. I can see, there's pretty much like a data report that shows me everything. And when I printed out the data for that first week's Flipgrid, I was disappointed to see that most people had not even watched my response. And so please, please, please come back to those Flipgrids and see if anybody has responded to you, either via video or the texting, chat or whatever. But the point in Flipgrid is to engage in conversation. And the only way to do that is to have some back and forth, responses and conversation is what we're looking for. So please, please, please look back at that. And I probably will not post a personal response to every single person every single time. But on that first Flipgrid, if you did not see my response, would you please go back and watch it? Because I made a personal response to every single person in this class that participated. So that was from the previous weeks. You also have completed 4.1 and 4.2 in Hawks. And so you kind of know now what the only thing we haven't had is a quiz. So we've had some Hawks, we've had some labs, we haven't had a quiz. That's coming up. So let's go to this week. You did the recipe lab, the grocery lab, and the Grandma Weighs What lab. Those were all together in one package, but it was sort of 3 different topics. I love that lab because those are 3 things that we all deal with in the real world. So we all deal with cooking, we all deal with grocery shopping, and we all deal with medication. You were to have posted a Flipgrid going over how those 3 things impact you personally. And then this week coming up, you need to post a response, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Before I move on, let me just pull my phone up and see who is in the Remind app, and I'm going to just give you a really quick shout out. I love the Remind app, and we still have people that are not on it. You're probably also not watching this video, but this is who I have in the Remind app. Chastity, Ethan, Kelsey, Laura, Miranda, Mariana, Michaela, Deandra, Shania, Stephanie, Summer, and Teresa. Thank you for joining me on the Remind app. I sent a link out yesterday, which would have been Wednesday, 2/2/22, to the Upswing Tutoring Service. If you need help anytime, like, oh my gosh, this is due in 2 hours and I need some help, you can sign up for help on Upswing. It is free. Richmond Community College offers it for all of our courses, and you can set an appointment in a day or 2, or you can jump on right then and there and see who's available to help you with your math. It's a lot like FaceTime. I've done it before as a practice, just to make sure that it was user-friendly, and it is. And so if you need help in this course, I sent the link via the Remind app yesterday on February 2nd. And you can sign up using your same RCC login that you use for Moodle and email. Okay, this week, again, you were supposed to post 2 responses. I'd love for you to post more, but at least 2 responses to the Flipgrids from the Grandma Recipe and Grocery Store Lab. You do not have to post a video response, even though, honestly, that's my preference, because we're trying to get to know each other, and I feel like you can get to know each other a lot better via, look around. Like, you can learn a lot about me right here. If you look closely, there's a lot of things that you can learn about me, my home, my family, my life, things that I value, things that are important to me, what type of person I am, just from looking at the setting behind me. And so I love video responses, but okay, I'll take the written responses as well. That's fine. In addition, you have a rounding decimals lab. Now, I know people are going to open this up and roll their eyes and think, what in the world is this lady doing? But hawks and rounding are a big deal in this course. You probably may have already bumped into some issues in 4.1 and 4.2, but before we get too far into the class, I want to make sure that you know how to round properly. Hawks will not accept it if it is 1 digit off. You're going to get a strike. So I want to go over rounding this week because it is something in my years of teaching this. I've taught this every semester at RCC for 8 years, and I love this class, but it is something that students struggle with. Rounding properly. What do the words mean? Hundredth, thousandth, tenth, whole, integer. And that is something that, again, it's a review from middle school. And I've got some links to some websites if you need some help this week, but it's very important that we get rounding correctly before we proceed. And then the other thing you're going to work on are 2 sections in Hawks, 4.3 and 4.4. This is predominantly percentages. So you're talking about tipping at a restaurant. You're talking about commission on a job. You're talking about raising the price of an item so that you can make a profit. You're talking about lowering the price when something might be on sale. There's all types of situations where percentages are used. This is the most important topic in this class, percentages. We use it throughout the course. Pretty much every chapter from here to the final exam will deal with percentages in some way. 4.3 and 4.4 are vital to your success in Math 143. So I hope you will take the time on those sections this week to really pour over that and make sure you have a strong foundation in what a percentage is, what it means, and how to calculate it. I think that's all for today. I hope you have a great week. If you need me, reach out. I've enjoyed those of you that have contacted me on the Remind app. Every single question has been something very quick. I did get a question last night about how to submit or download those labs. You do not have to type on the Word document. You can either, if you have the device like I have right here, this little writing tablet, can you see this? And it comes with a special pen, and the pen's somewhere back here. Here it is. So if you have something like this, like I can write on the document myself. But you probably don't have that. And so personally, if I were you, I'd print that lab out somewhere. You can go to any RCC campus and print it for free. You can write your own work with your own handwriting, and you don't have to type it in. And then you can scan it. If you have a smartphone of any type, these smartphones are capable of scanning a document. Now, you might have to Google how to do that based on the particular phone that you have. But a smartphone can scan a document for you and then upload it to the link in Moodle. I know that sounds like a lot, but you do not have to type in all the work. You can print it, work it out by hand, scan it in, and upload it. Okay, that's my preference. If you have a handy device like I have, then you can just write right on the document. But most people don't have that. I only have it because RCC provided them for online instructors. So have a great week. If you have any questions, reach out to me.